Hi guys, it's Karla here and I am back with another video. I am going to be doing my first book review video and I am so excited to do it. I just finished reading this book. It is called Year of Yes, How to Dance It Out, Stand in the Sun and Be Your Own Person by Shonda Rhimes. If you don't know who Shonda Rhimes is, she is the writer and creator of Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, Private Practice, and she's also the executive producer for How to Get Away with Murder on ABC, and she pretty much owns Thursday night TV. And so I picked up this book a couple of weeks ago and I finished it in like 3 days, and I've already started reading it again for a second time. And I just want to say that this book is so awesome. I'm not going to like talk about everything that she talks about in the book, but I am going to tell you my thoughts and things that really stood out to me because I really enjoyed this book. And I just wanted to give you a couple of some information about the book just in case you want to check it out yourself, which I highly recommend. So without further ado, let's get into this book review. Okay, basically in the book, Shonda describes her year of yes being an idea that she came up with after her oldest sister told her, basically, Shonda, you never say yes to anything. And for some reason or another, that stuck with Shonda, and she was like, wow, I really don't say yes to anything. So for an entire year straight, she decided that she was going to say yes to anything that frightened her. And what I really like about this book is that it's not like it doesn't feel like she's talking at you, but it honestly feels like that you're having a conversation with Shonda Rhimes. Like, she really lets you know who she is. And it's like, I felt like I was one of her best friends having a conversation with her. That's what the book felt like. It was hilarious. Like, she is so funny. I didn't think that she was that hilarious, but the woman is hilarious. Like, I never laugh out loud at books, but with this one, I honestly laughed out loud. One of the main things in the book that really stood out to me, as far as one of the things that she said yes to, she said yes to accepting that she's a badass. Not a badass in a bully type way, but she said yes to her confidence and her accomplishments. And she was basically saying how women should own their greatness instead of being really timid and shy about being phenomenal, that we should just embrace it. And she says that everyone has greatness in them, they just have to tap into it. And I love the fact that she said that we as women are quick to like if we get a compliment, that we kind of brush it off, or we apologize for the compliment, or we find something else to cover up the compliment, to bring out a flaw so that people won't think that we're all that or arrogant. And her whole thing was, it's not about being arrogant, it's accepting my accomplishments, it's accepting that I'm great without having to be, you know, cocky or arrogant. And she's basically saying that we should own up to being great instead of being sorry for it. So she said yes to her accomplishments, and she basically saying that she was joining the club of legends, because I mean, the lady has a right to brag. But and at first I was like, is she bragging? But when I go back and read it, it's like, no, she's not bragging. Like, she's accepting herself. And I think all of us as women should do that. We shouldn't push ourselves off because people expect us to do that. We should just be great and accept it. And I love that she touched on that, because I actually do that. If somebody compliments me, I always brush it off like, nah, you know, I just, you know, like if someone says, oh, Karla, you're beautiful. And I'm like, oh, thanks. But yeah, my hair messed up, I'm, you know, tired. Just say thank you. And one of the things that she says is, thank you, smile, shut up. And I love that chapter. Like, if someone gives her a compliment, she really does say thank you. She smiles and she shuts up. She stops herself before she like downplays herself. So she just says thank you, smile, shut up. And I've been practicing that, and no one thinks that I'm cocky, no one thinks that I'm arrogant. People actually think that you're more humble because you're accepting their compliment. And she was saying how people get kind of taken aback when you don't accept their compliment or their admiration for your accomplishments. So I really did like that chapter. That was one thing that really stood out to me, because she points out that we wouldn't want our daughters and our nieces to be these timid, fragile women. We want them to be strong, independent, smart, intelligent, have a voice, have an opinion, and we should practice that ourselves so that they can see us doing that, and when they get older they can do that as well. Another chapter that really stood out to me is when she said yes to her body. And at first I was like, oh my goodness, she's gonna talk about herself being fat, and it made me a little uncomfortable. But she was so real. And like I said at the beginning, the way that she wrote the book, it felt like I was having a conversation with her, like we were out getting tea, talking. That's how she made the book feel. But the Yes to My Body chapter was basically her saying, yes, I'm fat, I'm obese, I'm not chubby, I'm fat, and I'm unhealthy. And what I really liked about it was she wasn't talking about her exterior you know, feeling. She was talking about how she felt on the inside, because she is a feminist, and she said that body shaming is horrible, and she was like, if anyone called her fat, like, she would get in their ass real quick. But yeah, she was saying that she doesn't feel good on the inside. So her saying yes to her body meant eating the correct way, putting stuff on her body that her body needs. And she was like, not so much worried about how she looked, but how she felt, because she wanted to be around for her 3 daughters. She has 3 daughters, and she said that she changed her lifestyle as far as eating and exercising because she wanted to be around for her daughters, not because society and Hollywood want to see this skinny, you know, person, because she's in the background. She's a writer and producer. She wanted to be around for her daughters. She said that she didn't feel good, and she emphasized that she wanted to feel good again. She wanted her energy. She wanted to feel like healthy. She wasn't worried about how she looked on the outside. And I really did love that chapter. Her saying yes to her body was basically saying, I'm saying yes to living, and I'm going to put myself first. I really did love that chapter, especially because she said that she was doing it for her daughters, not for Hollywood. You would think that someone famous would be like, oh yes, I have to fit this size and this image because cameras are always in front of my face and I have to interview. But she's doing it for her kids. She was saying yes to her body, so she was saying yes to living, and I love that so much. That was one of my favorite chapters. I'm not going to read the book to you, but I just have to take a moment to show you her definition of badassery. Like, she made it a word. And this is what she said it means. Badassery, noun, the practice of knowing one's own accomplishments and gifts, accepting one's own accomplishments and gifts, and celebrating one's own accomplishments and gifts. 2, noun, the practice of living life with swagger, noun or verb, a state of being that involves loving oneself, waking up like this, and not giving a crap what anyone else thinks about you. Term first coined by William Shakespeare. I thought that was awesome, and now I use that word all the time. Like, I'm working on my badassery. I don't care what anyone thinks about me. I'm a humble person. I'm going to do what I'm here to do, and I'm going to accept all my accomplishments, and I'm going to celebrate myself. I love that she put that in there. It was great. Oh, Jesus. I got thirsty. Talking into a camera is weird. Like, I really do feel like I'm talking to myself, but I know I'm talking to you guys, but I'm winded. I'm a bit parched. Woo, okay, let's do it. Okay, one of the last things that I'm going to talk about in the book is how she said yes to motherhood. And I found this chapter to be very interesting because she was saying how mothers are so used to putting our life completely to the side, or we have this notion that our whole life ends when we have kids, and all of our dreams, our aspirations, everything that we were looking forward to in our lives have to stop because we have to dedicate our entire lives to our children. And she said that that's bullshit. And at first I was like, whoa. Like, is she allowed to say that? But when she explained it, I was like, oh my God, thank you. Somebody understands and is erasing this notion that my whole entire life has to end because I'm a mother. I'm so glad that she shut that down. And I love the point that she made, that if we let all of our dreams go and if we cut our entire lives off for our kids, what kind of example are we being for our seeds? You see what I'm saying? What kind of examples are we being for our children? And she said that she can't imagine herself having a job that she doesn't like or doesn't make her happy because she doesn't want her children to see what kind of mother she would be if she was in that situation, if that makes sense. She said that she's blessed that she has a job that she actually enjoys, that she loves, because it helps her be a better mother. Like, her children see her doing something that she's passionate about, and that is the way that she can provide for them. And so I'm so glad that she stood up for mothers all across the world who feel like me, that say, hey, like, I still have a life. I'm still a human being. I still have dreams. I still have goals that I plan and going to achieve. And I want my baby girl to see that. So having it engraved in my mind, oh, everything has to stop now because you're a mother. You have to dedicate your entire life to your child. No, I totally disagree. And I was just so happy to hear somebody like Shonda Rhimes, you know, confirm what I'm feeling, that my daughter needs to see me achieve my goals. She needs to see me reach my dreams. She needs to see me be happy. And I'm so glad that she says that we're still women, we're human, and we don't have to put our lives to the side for motherhood. And I love that she says that being a mother is not a job. Like, being a mother is awesome. Everyone doesn't get to do it. And I've never seen being a mother as a job. I see it as a privilege. I see it as a blessing. Like, I brought a life into this world, and that's an awesome thing to, you know, hey, that's pretty awesome. But I love that she just says that we don't have to put our lives to the side. Like, we still have to show our children that achieving our goals is important, and doing what we love is important, because we're setting the example for them. So that chapter really did, it actually made me cry. Confession, yes, it made me cry. Oh well, like the lady said, I'm human. But it was pretty great. Like, I really did appreciate that chapter very much. I'm not gonna get too into it because I know I'll start crying again. Like, that's me. But yeah, that was very great. Okay, I was just talking about dreaming, and what I meant to do was just say my goals instead of saying dreaming, because there's another chapter where she talks about don't be a dreamer, be a doer. Like, she says don't carry your dreams around with you and not do anything about it. She said transition from a dreamer into a doer. Do something. Like, don't just carry your dreams and think about your dreams and lollygag and daydream about your dreams. She's saying do, lead your dreams. Okay guys, so that was the end of my book review. Again, this is Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes, and it is an excellent, fantastic, spectacular book, and I would recommend it for anyone to read. Not just women, but of course I would recommend women to read it first, and of course moms, but anybody should, you know, read this book. It's very, very great. It's very encouraging. I actually treat it like a second Bible, and like I said at the beginning, I'm going through it for a second time. I'm reading it for a second time, and I'm so glad that I am. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to read it like 3 or 4 more times, because I really do love this book, and you should definitely check it out. And I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and I hope that you check out the book because it's very great, very encouraging. And that is it. I will see you in my next video. Peace.